This is Matt Pearce. Jesus Christ gave us the goals, but Gandhi gave us the tactics. Hi everyone, this is Matt. Welcome back to my co-pilot, Simon Lee. You've been on holiday, haven't you, over Christmas?
Yes.
So had a bit of a break. What were you doing over there? Was it...
I was just relaxing myself a bit because life has been very, very crazy in academia, and I really need to take some rest, and so that we could be an energetic tiger in the Chinese New Year to come.
Right. And
Yes.
you were in Canada, weren't you, for the...
No, I was just around in Asia, but just traveling
Okay.
around, yeah,
Okay.
but not really going that far away. But are you ready for the Chinese New Year of the Tiger?
Just about, actually, yeah. I'm going to be going to Singapore, actually.
Oh,
So,
that's very nice.
yeah, so that's quite... they celebrate it pretty big over there, actually.
Yeah, it's my turn to be envious, isn't it, Ken?
Yeah.
Yes. I also want to go to Singapore.
So, anyway, welcome back, Simon.
thanks
It's
so
nice to have you here. And Ken is our regular coordinator here as well.
Okay.
We want to get straight in. We've got quite a few topics we want to discuss. We want to talk a bit about the, obviously it's the de facto referendum. The lawmakers have just resigned. But before, and also we want to talk a bit about LSD. The League of Social Democrats had its AGM last week. Also, the big news about the building in Hung Hom collapse last week. But before that, I think we ought to. I'm interested to know your thoughts on the news in the past couple of days about the Nina Wang's the decision in the court case to do with Nina Wang's will. Obviously, has been pretty big news to do with the court case, and they've decided. Perhaps we ought to explain for any international viewers the story on that. But basically, the court has decided in favour of Nina Wang's charity foundation. So all the money is going to go to the foundation rather than her
Feng Shui master.
lover, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Who's called Tony Chan, wasn't it? So do you think most sort of overseas Chinese know about that story, for example?
Oh, definitely, because that story about Nina Wang and between Tony Chan has been more dramatic than many soap operas that the Chinese Canadians or overseas Chinese were following.
Yeah.
And after all, it was so dramatic in the sense that people have been following the story since several years ago when Nina Wang had a court case fighting for the money that her husband left over, and that was a legal battle between Nina Wang and her father-in-law. And in the beginning, it was her father-in-law who won the court case, but later on, after repeated more legal battles, that Nina Wang dramatically won the money over. So people were wondering whether Tony Chan would do the same again, would carry on the legal fight. And sometimes you never know. And Tony Chan, perhaps there might be a possibility that he might win the money again. But you know what? I think what's interesting is that there's some parallel between what's happening now to what happened to Nina Wang several years ago. Because when Nina Wang lost the legal battle, he was also charged by the police of forging her husband's will. And right now, Tony Chan was also being arrested for the same thing.
Right, that's right. That's the latest news, that he has just been arrested.
But being arrested doesn't mean you are the ultimate loser in what Nina Wang had shown before. So
Exactly, yeah. That's right.
It's not the final round yet.
No, it's not, actually. But it is looking not too good for him, I would say. Judging by what I've read about it, it's a slightly different... I would imagine, going back with the Nina Wang's case, there was more public sympathy for her, and perhaps more percentage of people would be thinking that she might have a right to the money, as it were, because she was the wife, you see. But with this guy, Tony Chan, obviously he's not actually married or so on. He was just the lover, and obviously he was married to someone else, and it doesn't look, in terms of he's had a bit of a, I wouldn't quite say character assassination by the Hong Kong media, but certainly they painted him as a bit of a, what's the word? Help me.
You mean
money chaser, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
It is sort of a negative portrayal. And also, there were public sympathy toward Nina Wang because she already passed away. But suddenly you have a guy who popped up and said so much, revealing so much details about quotation sexual fantasy. Like you're talking about Nina Wang's, according to Tony Chan, Nina Wang wanted to have baby with her, and they had sexual relations only 3 days after Tony Chan himself got married. I mean, that's sort of all the details. I mean, and you really couldn't verify with the death of Nina Wang, right? So people thought that if we're talking about character assassination, perhaps the so-called media character assassination of Tony Chan, people thought the other way around too. Tony Chan is sort of having a character assassination of Nina Wang because people would usually have an image that Nina Wang, there's only one love in her life, which is her husband. But what Tony Chan was saying is totally a different story.
And from what you've read, in terms of the law, and in terms of the way the judge made that decision this week to do with it, do you think would you agree with the way he formulated his decision in terms of the law of it? Do you see what I mean?
What do you think, Ken? Because the decision came, I think it's a 300-page ruling, and
you haven't read it, have you?
Quite not really.
Ken, have you read that?
I haven't read the 300 pages.
Normally you do go through the judgments with a toothpick, Ken, do you?
No, I don't. I don't have that time to do it. But I think logically, I think I quite agree with the judges because he say that Nina pay a lot of money to Tony. However, it has no correlation in between that she would give the whole company and everything to him, as Tony is not her relatives. So I think, I mean, apparently it's quite logical. Yeah.
Unless you buy into what Tony Chan said that Nina Wang wanted to have baby for him. If that's the case, if it's really that intimate, then it's hard to say. But of course, there couldn't be any verification. But in the meantime, what you can see is that for Tony Chan, he's not only Nina Wang's lover, but also Nina Wang's official feng shui master. And what people are saying that this week's ruling showed that feng shui didn't really work for him.
It certainly didn't, did it? It certainly didn't. And, it certainly didn't. And, he could be in serious trouble, I think. He's been arrested. Forging a will, potentially you could be looking at quite a few years in prison for that, I would imagine. But I'd be interested to know, in terms of the law, if